Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Tacoma. We went quite a long time going over this first memory. We need to look around a little bit more and see where we can get and where we can't. This is, I guess, EV St. James Station Administrator. And even the image here seems to be corrupted. Maybe that means something, maybe that doesn't. There is, I guess, something we should check. Since I've paused the game for several hours, let's just make sure that the download here hasn't gone any further. No, not really. I kind of think it's probably cheating, that download there, and it will only jump up in big chunks when you're not looking. It is possible that this entire station is some kind of experiment, and this is 2 months ago, this recording, not 3 days ago. And then they are just having these people do fairly random things. Lunar transfer station, fairly simplistic jobs, as it were. Although it does seem like we did get a description of 1228. See, that is the code that was on the door, and we tried that and it didn't work. Yeah. It definitely feels like they could be doing very simplistic jobs. This lady's all about her cat. It is possible also that this is balm for chapped lips. That the interesting, there's a couple things missing. It's possible that the reason why the AI in our ship is so boarded up is to keep Odin away from seeing our AI. Let's see. Solista. What is Solista? Dormadrin. Still not really sure what that's for, but seems to be some kind of nasal spray of some sort. And so we're not always going to just pick things up and put things back. Yeah, and her mother died. And see, we may get to the point where just like a significant amount of story and understanding the characters is going to be required to get the full story here. It does kind of feel like there's a lot in this drawer as far as just random papers that they're saying no to, as far as just this is not a thing. And then some of this is really fairly dark still. And I don't know if I'm supposed to just try and figure out where a pin goes. Here you have some wine. And some more wine. That seems to be all that's there. Guess the idea here would be, where's the cat? Did the cat evacuate also? If they did, they left chocolates in fairly a hurry. It's just hard to tell particularly what's important and what isn't. Like, is this Nikki Jimson tribute tour of any real interest at all, or is it just a poster? Interesting space age toothbrush. Toothpaste. Makeup, nail polish. All kinds of things. Although it might be somewhat interesting in that there's seemingly a toilet here and hand wash station, but no mirrors because it's a video game and they don't want to render mirrors, but also like no feminine hygiene products, which maybe means something. I mean, if they were supposed to be up here a year and they were normal humans, human females, there'd be something there, you would think. Of course, buying pre-bought assets of feminine hygiene products are probably a little bit more difficult to do that. Fewer people have made 3D models of that. So I'm definitely noticing that after the 3 days ago memory, there definitely was somebody wandering around some more, which obviously there would be, and some things are missing. But in this AR data, like, I expect that the bubble in which you can recover this AR is just this room. So unlike the first scene we saw where there was 3 different conversations happening between 3 groups and then they all merged in one, this seems like it is just going to be this one memory. We can just see it's corrupted more than normal. Do we see the cat anywhere? Because we did see the cat previously. Very shiny.
Is that all there is? Is that all there is? If that's all there is, my friends, then let's keep dancing. Let's break out the booze and have a ball.
This is decent, but not great. Really. It sounds like a video game voice actor trying to sing. Right. So there is, the string is sprung. Music Emporium, Tacoma, Washington. So yeah, it seems really like the only thing here was the code 1228, which was on the book. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was like on the book, and we've flung the book somewhere, so we've lost that. So yeah, nothing interesting about that. 1, 2, 2, 8 now works when it didn't work before, which that seems crazy. Suppose it's worth pointing out that almost all the days of the week are based off of the like Nordic characters, and since Odin is the name of the idea, Sunday is literally the sun's day, as in S-U-N, I believe. Thursday was literally Thor's day, Thor. Wednesday comes from Woden, which was the old English way of saying Odin, so it's Odin's day. Tuesday is from the brother of Thor, but I forget what his name is. It's not Loki, like in the Marvel comics. It's a different brother of Thor. I don't think Friday has anything to do with that, though. I don't think Saturday has anything to do with that, though. So if there is going to be some deep logical connection to Odin, it almost certainly would happen on a Wednesday. Monday is like Moon's Day, I think, originally. Okay. We'll rewind the video and we'll hit play in a second. Sergio Venturi, CEO of the Venturi Company, seemingly having a direct conversation with her. Yeah, just a lot of backstory on the mother and union. She was a member of the union, so this may very well be some weird anti-union thing. Got just like a whole workstation here. Coming online in 2088. So asteroids. Seems almost like she was alerted of the asteroid collapse first. Request for network specialist access to Odin's unit has been denied. And they apparently punished her for even asking. What's interesting also about the thumbnail for Tacoma on Steam, which I'm looking at right now, is it shows our character, at least I think our character, in a very different way than the way the picture shows her here. her hair is wavy and curly, not flat. Does that mean anything? Not really. But we are the one that said our name was Amy. Here it says it's Amateur Farrier. But it could be that we are actually lying, and that is not who we are at all. Let's see, just shrink everything back. And it does seem like there is just more of a more hidden stuff is really going to show up as you crouch down more than anything else. It's a mouse. I have to say, this whole game is feeling a little wonky at this point. I don't know if that's just because I've let it run paused. Maybe I should just save and exit, but it does just feel oddly.
As CEO by the Board of Trustees, Venturis had not been led by a Venturi for over 4 decades, and those were decades that saw an unprecedented wave of advancement outside our walls. Gene filtering, augmented reality, artificial consciousness, and yet Venturis had not been a part of these new technologies. With your help, all of that is about to change. The technology to fully automate isolated orbital facilities using AI has existed for as long as I've been alive. Venturis must lead the way on this crucial issue. Humans for jobs only humans can do. Cutting-edge, multi-generation artificial intelligence safely handling the rest. Orbital safety above all else. Would this significantly reduce the number of people working full-time in space? Yes. And that's just the point.
This has been a message from your Chief Executive Officer, Sergio Venturi.
So yeah, he's moving towards getting rid of jobs, which potentially means he's maybe just killing people. So we see she's looking at something on the screen, and then she picks something up.
But they said I'm not getting an outside data connection.
Correct.
But look at
Additionally,
How long does that give us?
Sarah?
Jesus, how much shit hit us? No, I'm trying other AR channels.
Yeah, unless there's just like something else that can be uncorrupted.
Might not be that easy.
It doesn't seem like it's really worth it to sit around and watch the rest of that. So we barely got any backstory to that. Meanwhile, we're at 51% here. And seems like we're close. Let's see. For security reasons, AR recorded data is deleted automatically. Accidental data retention by the automated system does not confer contractor access privileges to confidential information. Your cooperation is appreciated. So they're basically telling you to not mention anything you saw. Interesting triangle tape. A terrible idea. a union thing. Like QR codes here. If this game really requires you to be involved with QR codes, I'm not going to really try for that. You can see a lot of corruption happening. This, I guess, is the card, which we can toggle off, that they had her make. I think it was her who was in charge of making the cards. A lost wedding ring. 4 days ago. Now I suppose the story will get more and more complicated as we potentially get further and further backwards in time, because it does seem like we are going to end up going backwards. Let's see. It's like a job training program they're advertising to work in space. I wonder if it is a case that there is actually no no jobs other than working in space. Interesting. You have a coin, but it doesn't seem to be in laundry that requires a coin. So if I did need that coin at some point, I'm gonna have to probably grab it and carry it with us somewhere fairly far away. We have a spool of wire. So it does seem like they do some other things than just general simplistic labor. Which that would make some sense. Like, this really doesn't feel like a spaceship that would have a whole bunch of drones or conveyor belts or automation. So if they were going to truly try and like eliminate humans completely, you would expect more robots of some sort. It's all kinds of things that they're working on. It's kind of a great example of somebody wasting their time making a hex nut that isn't even made well. There's no threads on the inside, and it's oddly black and shiny. I definitely have seen in other games this case where you have what I can only assume is the person in charge, the game director, the producer, whatever the title is, just bad at their job, and I can't really blame anyone else other than the director or producer in this case. So it's just, I guess, confetti, which makes it feel like this would have been from the party after the fact. It is odd that someone would be from Tacoma, Washington, and this would be the ship called Tacoma, unless she named the ship. But yeah, why have round tape in this form and then triangle tape in a different form? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, often I've seen a director in some games just blow their budget and waste it by having somebody make a bunch of 3D models and a bunch of items, just kind of keeping a 3D modeler and animator busy and fully employed, which is kind of a noble thing to do, certainly, but then really not being able to have the meetings that need to be had and make the decisions that need to be made as far as what is an important thing to render and what isn't. particularly if you're going wild and just buying things that are pre-made from an asset store. Plenty of games I've seen are basically asset flips, and you just buy assets and then try to build a game around it. Whereas it would have been very easy to have no hex nuts and no hex pipes here and no trays here, and nobody's going to really complain about that at all. You could have stuck with just panels and maybe gotten rid of the bolt and the pipe wrench. Just get rid of those. It could have just been this spool wire. This is an airlock. Sealed, and it's not getting another delivery probably ever. Please.
All right, ladies, you have everything you need?
Yep-o. Thanks for offering to help.
Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, you know how much I love completely mindless busy work.
Kid, don't.
Okay. Let's see. We connect you with licensed therapist on demand. We're here to listen to you. So this person, Roberta Williams, was talking to a therapist online, which I feel like a lot of these people are going to just have fairly bad mental states, and that is going to lead in some way to the final reveal. But unlike Gone Home here, in this case, you're not even really able to read everything. Let's see, yearly inventory, quality assurance, and count day. That might give me an idea of what day it is. But yeah, I just don't know how you get a story out of this at the moment.
We don't even know if we're getting renewed yet.
We're getting renewed.
Okay, so if you're so sure, maybe we should just do our jobs then? So we'll get renewed again next year?
God, next year. Nah, I'm gonna quit.
Stop.
What? They don't even give me access to the system I'm supposed to be maintaining. I mean, are you kidding me?
Well, do you really need direct access to Odin?
It's the principle of the thing. I mean, what if they were like, hey Bert, your job's mechanical engineer, but, you know, don't touch anything under the hood?
Well, still be pulling a paycheck for one thing.
Come on, you're a good engineer. You're totally gonna waste up here.
Well, didn't you say Evie was gonna talk to corporate about giving you more access?
Yeah, but it never went anywhere. Hey, that's a good point, actually.
What?
Evie, can you get back to cargo?
On my way. What are you doing?
Yeah, this'll work.
Matt!
It seems very odd how this whole thing seems to
remember
work.
when we talked about how I needed access to Odin's direct interface?
Uh-huh.
So how about this? Tell VT if they don't grant access to Odin, they're gonna have to find themselves a new network specialist.
Oh my god.
Nat, you're not even renewed yet.
You don't have access to Odin?
No, there's a whole part of the networking module I can't even get into.
People, everything on this station is VT's property. We're subcontractors. They get to decide what exactly we do and don't have access to.
That sounds
All
fishy,
our paperwork.
certainly.
So if you want to quit, then just quit, but don't make me your go-between.
I mean, it is fair. How is she meant to do her job?
Clive.
Then again, rules are rules.
Nat, I'll think about it. But for now, how about you just get the rest of this job done while you still have it?
Aye, aye, Captain.
And see, there's just like some weirdness here,
How I
to say
need
the least.
to interface. This access to have to find themselves new.
See, there's a
Nat, you're not even renewed yet.
You don't have
medical
access to Odin.
person.
There's a whole part of the networking module I can't
See,
even.
there's just like a whole memory
Yeah,
over here and a whole nother conversation.
almost.
Teens, huh?
So we'll just rewind this whole thing. So you can't use this, and it seems like that's what's going to happen over and over again, is you'll find something that looks like you might be able to interact with it, but you won't be able to interact with it. Yeah, just because. And unless at some point you become a crew member, off-station call, interesting. Apparently that's happening at the very beginning. And see, normally in a case like this, this seems like normally in a case like this I'd just say pause now and read this if you want to, and certainly you could do that, but it's so corrupted you really aren't going to get anywhere. It feels like you have to solve the game and win the game before you can even get the storyline. And I guess it's kind of nice that we already know that there's a developer's commentary in this, because that's almost certainly going to be how I get at least 25% of the narrative, is just playing the game a second time and listening to developer's commentary. Let's see. This does seem to imply that there is real currency still, but it seems like they definitely are pushing people towards what they're calling consumer loyalty, and apparently converted loyalty is not as variable as original loyalty. So that definitely seems like something. Don't put weights. Frown, exercise, jog, water, happy. I guess that's if you're upset or unhappy, you should exercise. Just everything seems to be fairly connected. Last activity period 3 days ago. That may give us some information. We've got another door with a lock. I'll exercise when I'm dead. Last activity 360 days ago. Let's see what else we can see. We have a pinup picture for Roberta Williams. You have a hat. Okay. Nutrition bars. Bottles. Bath gel. Shampoo. Conditioner. Let's see, this is St. James, 42 days ago. Probably says something, though. that this door would be open for 42 days. That really implies somebody came in here and took something, and it's fairly obvious they tore down something. And we have another code. Yeah. I feel like in the first episode I maybe immediately jumped to this game being a little too SJW because there was a lesbian couple, and I don't want to immediately jump to that conclusion. Although I suspect there's a chance of that from any video game company. It's also very possible that we get a slight mention of that fact and then the game doesn't make a big deal of it, and it just comes off as a very natural, logical to the story experience. There, you got an achievement for punching the bag. Inherently, though, you also have a problem, much like having a bunch of 3D models to pick up and look at. You have a problem potentially where no achievement for picking things up or putting it down. And then there's just apparently we're going in front of the sun. But yeah, instead of having a more interesting gameplay mechanic in perhaps trying to open more doors to the room or solve more puzzles, you have these gimmick interactions that aren't going to lead to anything. I am almost 100% certain I'm not going to end up punching any people or fighting anybody. Almost certainly, if you're going to tell this exact same story and try to make it more of a video game, you would have the space station a lot bigger, maybe have some monsters, aliens on it, things like that.
Nicholas, I know that you...
It pauses, though.
Yeah, I know. Both you and your father would like me home sooner, but... Listen, you have your heart set on Amazon, don't you? Okay. And there's no way we're gonna have enough customer loyalty between your dad and I for a full ride by the time you start school. Not at this rate. So, we're just gonna have to pay some of that tuition out of pocket. Yeah, just one more year. And I'm pretty sure I'll get it. I'm hoping. What? No, it's not dangerous. What do you mean dangerous? Radiation shielding is pretty much 100% on a station like this, so there's no... Well... Yeah. Well, it might have been manufactured 30 years ago, but they've upgraded.
Man,
No, we're...
Your stories aren't usually such
We're not all
downers.
gonna get cancer or bone
Is
disease
everything
or...
okay?
I suppose I am preoccupied
listen,
with
would it make you
your
feel better to
potential
hear it straight from the
departure.
station, Doctor?
Wait,
Okay,
you
hold
mean
on.
me? Or
Hey, Sarah, can I bother you for a second?
what? Oh, sorry. What is it?
I have my son Nicholas on AR, and he wanted to ask you... What? No, you said you wanted... Well, I didn't... Okay, I'm sorry, hold on. Now, Nicholas...
So let's pause this. Apparently she's reading a book. You get one page of that. I guess that was the thing. And then here's that person. So Natalie got this contact info from this guy, this dog with this spyglass. This character 30315. So Odin knows all the codes. So yeah, this girl introduced Cluey Dog to the medic.
Hello?
Teens, huh?
Yeah. Almost done with high school. Almost. Just incidentally, is there anything we should be worried about with another year out here, health-wise? Radiation, bone density?
Oh no. We spend almost all of our time in Earth gravity, and radiation shielding on a station like this is basically 100%.
Yeah, see, that's what I told him.
Interesting, they said
Okay,
it the exact same phrase.
Nothing to worry about.
Okay, Odin, where were we?
So yeah, I almost wonder if maybe these guys are mentally programmed. Zero, 3, 1, 5. And you can't turn off the text without going to the menu. And so it's goals, goals, goals. It's just a bunch of muscly women. Seems almost like it was ripped out of a notebook, but the notebook itself would be a fairly large notebook. Fit. Okay. I can't help but wonder if maybe this is just going to turn into some fairly simplistic, stereotypical characters. Like, yeah, the only thing I could think here is that maybe you would have taped this up, hiding this behind whatever was back here behind. They all seem to have taped things up. But even here you see some pieces of tape. This is taped up. This is taped up and missing something, so maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. We know there's a mystery here, but it seems to be with a different character. But we might as well just listen to everything.
Through this, I learned that people do not always want what they believe they want.
Yeah.
I believe I have learned a great deal.
Really? Like what?
Very early in my source's cognitive record, I recall an intense period of personal growth. I was tasked with internalizing the behavioral idiosyncrasies of an individual to which my operator was emotionally attached.
Huh.
I expanded my capabilities to faithfully recreate her
So
procedural
apparently
reasoning,
she's
vocal
changing
attributes,
clothes,
and other
and you couldn't
qualities.
show
After
that,
months
or
of
you
effort,
could, but
I
it would be a
gave my
different
operator
game
precisely
then.
what was asked of me. A perfect emulation of the target personality, accurate in every detail.
Wow.
But oddly, there's no
To my
shower.
befuddlement, he did not react in a positive way.
Oh, there's
Our
a shower.
relationship began to deteriorate irreparably. We never again spoke personally in the manner I had become accustomed to.
Man, your stories aren't usually such
We're not all
downers.
gonna get cancer or bone
Is
disease
everything
or...
okay?
I suppose I am preoccupied with your potential departure.
Wait,
Okay,
you
hold
mean
on.
me? Or
Hey, Sarah, can I bother you for a second?
what?
Okay.
Oh,
We'll just go ahead and rewind at that point. So in the showers. There is a whole nother memory from 4 months ago. Let's not do that one yet. And instead, let's see where it starts with this character. So, these personal quarters also seem like they are oddly all over the place and kind of inconsistent. Seems like their personal quarters are right next to potentially where their offices are.
Germ, are you there? Hello. Oh, about as well as we expected. Yeah, we haven't heard who's...
So he's talking to someone else. Let's see. February 29th, 2080 was scheduled to be the final day of commercial and industrial orbital facilities would be operated by human crew members. We are in 2088, 8 years later. Let's see. The historic Human Oversight Accord apparently was passed, putting a halt to the obsolescence of the brave workers in the face of advancing automation. It's your legal right to celebrate this momentous event on the last day of February each year, no matter what your employer claims. Report any attempts at worker suppression to the OHLU, that's the union, on behalf of your fellow union workers. Happy Obsolescence Day. Part of the problem, certainly, with a video game telling a story about workers' rights and unions is that video game developers really don't have a lot of experience or knowledge on the aspect. Even if the video game industry did get unionized at some point in the future, it is going to be a very different kind of union than what most people would encounter. It's going to be much closer to the Screen Actors Guild, where you have a small collection of arguably highly skilled actors and a very different kind of goal and way things are done compared to, say, a union for people working on an assembly line building cars. But yeah, so far, even though the video game industry could use some unionization, it's really hard for them to make any progress there. Last day of February does now give us the date, which that's nice and all. I don't know if that really helps us too much. And this is apparently some article on social commentary. And this seems like almost a direct reference to Fallout.
Staying on yet, and it can be a tense time, as you know. But how are things at Carnival? I trust you got back to terra firma safely? No, you're already headed back out towards Jupiter. Why, I thought that... Oh yes, come on in, love. So are you rounding Sol then? That's tremendous. 8 months. Germ, I must leave now. Yeah, ring me again before the Resplendence leaves Earthspace, won't you?
Wait, let's rewind a little bit.
Oh yes, come on in, love. So are you rounding Sol then? That's tremendous. 8 months. Germ, I must leave now. Yeah, ring me again before the Resplendence leaves Earthspace, won't you? Ta-ta. Sorry about that. An old friend from my Carnival days.
Consorting with the enemy?
Worry not, mon capitaine. I am nothing if not discreet.
Are you gonna miss me, Clive? If VT kicks one of us off of this pinwheel.
Miss you? How could I? The next thing VT would receive after ending your contract would be my letter of resignation.
Oh, so you think I'm the one who's getting shit canned?
I mean, considering how indispensable I am, naturally.
Evie, can you get back to cargo?
On my way.
May I?
Yeah, come on.
So do you suppose there's good news?
That'd be nice for a change. What is it?
Hey, remember when we talked about how I needed access to Odin's direct?
So there is a romance there, it sounds like.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, well, that's what we expected. Yeah, we haven't heard who's staying on yet, and it can be a tense time, as you know.
See, this definitely feels like a reference to Bioshock.
Terra Firma safely? No, you're already headed back out towards Jupiter. Why, I thought that...
Vitamins.
Yes, come on in, love. So are you rounding Sol then? It's tremendous. 8 months.
Interesting,
Jem, I must
Apple.
leave now. Yeah, ring me again before the Resplendence leaves Earth space, won't you? Ta-ta. Sorry about that. An old friend from my carnival days.
Consorting with the enemy?
Worry not, mon capitaine. I am nothing if not discreet.
Are you gonna miss me,
1407.
Clive? If VT kicks one of us off of this pinwheel.
Miss you? How could I? The next thing VT would receive after ending your contract would be my letter of resignation.
Oh, so you think I'm the one who's getting shit canned?
I mean, considering how indispensable I am, naturally.
Evie, can you get back to cargo?
On my way.
May I?
So he's applied to a different job, but in the same company. Okay. But there still doesn't really feel like there's anything interesting.
That brought a new era of prosperity to our planet. Built on the orbital economy that the space elevator made
Let's see.
possible.
Clive.
Earth's technology continued to grow and advance in ways we never imagined.
This is when he was, I guess, in school. Notice that there's a school that was labeled Amazon and there's a school that's labeled Hilton. So basically, Amazon.com, Hilton Hotels. Becoming the hospital bunk drawer. Interesting. Right.
Through this, I learned that people do not always want what they believe they
And I
want.
guess if you
I believe I
don't
have learned a
follow
great deal.
Really?
this group
And my sources an intense growth.
in this
Internalizing
conversation,
behavioral
you'll
idiosyncrasies
hear something here.
was inefficient. Expanded my capability to create, vocal attributes, and other qualities. After months of a perfect good personality.
Wow.
But it also kind of seems like I may have already seen everything.
Our deteriorate irreparably again spoke in the manner I had become accustomed to.
Yeah. You have to stay in this room if you want to hear the speech.
It's been quite a year, hasn't it? A year that constitutes the first step into this company's bright future. And you've been lucky enough to be an integral part of it. Venturis was founded by my grandfather, Arturo Venturi, over 80 years ago. A serendipitous trip to Singapore, paired with his singular vision for the future of space travel, laid the foundations, literally and figuratively, for the orbital economy as we know it today. Thanks to Venturis, the Ono space elevator linked man to the stars, the fountain of Paradise Spaceport, a bustling hub of commerce that brought a new era of prosperity to our planet. Built on the orbital economy that the space elevator made possible, Earth's technology continued to grow and advance in ways we'd never imagined.
This has been a message from your Chief Executive Officer, Sergio Venturi.
Feels like there might be an achievement for listening to those extra things. I wonder if maybe we find out Sergio is AI. That would kind of make some level of sense.
All right, ladies, you have everything you need?
Yep.
And I kind of feel like I've just seen everything.
Clive, may I come in?
And see, that seems to be like the only extra there. Okay. So let's grab the key. And then I assume that there isn't actually a bunk in his office. I assume that the bunk is actually here. Titania Public House. Interesting. I don't know if it means anything. So we have an 8 months ago memory now to check out. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, which maybe that's a hint to something. Although, maybe not. Man opens his bunk. So he definitely is trying to get a different job. And it seems very much like you have to, if you go to Hilton College, you basically have to work for Hilton always. You have several different coins. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, that's a hologram. Which I assume that's just always a hologram, and that there weren't actually speaker boxes in the past, and somebody tore them down with like no wiring. Cat food, also. Yeah, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it's all a lie and these people are brainwashed / clones or something. That flushable sanitary wipes, and that is every year they get killed and replaced, and there really aren't any humans anywhere that are actually working jobs. Of course, a game like this leads towards speculation. Certainly. Tea set silver. He gave the tea set to the captain. So it does seem like there's some level of romancing going on, although I don't know if it's true romance or if it is him manipulating the captain. And it does kind of just feel like there's going to be a big reveal for this whole section, and then there will be several other sections of the game that we'll have to find more of a reveal. Like if we're just supposed to take this on face value, interesting how the graphics there just kind of glitched up. Maybe that means I'm not seeing things through human eyes. Bracelet looks a lot like the hex nut. Yeah, it's sleeping with the boss at a certain level. This is a letter to his mother. They seem to be working very hard to have you know that they have family connections and mothers. So, unless that is just 100% them talking to the AI, that would heavily indicate that that's not what's going to that the twist isn't going to be that they're clones or something. But you can't really blame people for suspecting anything and everything. It does seem like this one is just gonna have a character showering. Let's see. Interesting. When I stand here, it's not pulling up a memory. So maybe that's the trick to disable the augmented reality technology. Is to just stand potentially here instead of the augmented reality being all this glitchiness. I guess these will just be hour-long episodes. What have we really learned today, I guess, is the question that must be asked. This is complete. We should probably see if we should do something more from that or if we should just live with it. It really feels like there's more corruption in different places. Alright, so Obsolescence Day would be the last day on February. So 3 days ago, which would be March 3rd. Wednesday. 4 days ago would be then. Still doesn't feel like there's anything really that you're getting from that. And they can't help but feel like it's a little creepy that we're going to start the next recording looking in the shower, or in the next recording we're just going to watch a memory of someone showering. But obviously there's probably something from that. If not, then they just threw in a shower scene. Oddly, though, we are really just getting characterization of characters. Like, I still don't really have a distinct idea of what the goal is, other than just downloading the data. And I really don't have a distinct goal as to if I even think there's a possibility that any of the people caused the problem with the ship, or whether I think it's the AI that caused the problem, or whether I think it's a corporate conspiracy. They have done a good job of putting out at least 2 red herrings, if not several others, as far as what could be the reveal. In a funny way, this is still a little too much like Gone Home, and arguably I don't know if I'd ever want to play another game like Gone Home, where you are just wandering around the house finding journals and trying to figure out what happened. And unfortunately, I think that's really what this game is that it is half walking simulator where you're just wandering around with no goal, and then half mystery, with the mystery being extremely light and very unhandholdy. It feels like you could fix this certainly by having somebody hack into your comms and just talk to you and give you some motivation or a goal, just telling you to do something. When you look at a game like BioShock, that's certainly the case. Is in the first 5 minutes of actual gameplay in BioShock, you have someone tell you exactly what they want you to do and give you a very video game goal to go to a specific point and achieve a certain goal, or commit a certain action. That would have worked fairly well if you were getting just emails or something that said maybe you should check out this area, and then if you haven't been to that area after 20 minutes or so in gameplay, maybe you get a suggestion to go check out the area again, or you get suggested to go check out a different area. I doubt there would be too many players who would have just plugged in the book and stood at the book and waited for it to download, but it almost feels like that's what the game is implying you should do, is just plug in the book and wait for it to download. And that may be the only download in the entire game, so it may very well be a case where I hand over this download book and then the story potentially ends there, and then you would have to decide whether or not you wanted to play the game again from the beginning, which would be very annoying. Oh, by the way, California Republic probably is a reference to Fallout 3, Fallout 2, which that's where our main character is from. But yeah, the video game references are fine, but I'd actually like more of a video game here. anyways, I'm going far too long in these episodes because it's so slow. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.